Video playthrough once here for you. So you can take a look at, see what's going on. Okay, so take that back. And now instead of just watching the delivery as a whole, let's just watch that arm and watch what this arm path looks like here. Okay, so if we back this up, we can see how quickly this hand took over. And from ball falling out of the glove, the only thing that's moving is the hand. And now we get into this huge, wide split position with our arms. And that's not going to help us be able to rotate our body in the proper timing and path to help that throwing arm come through the throwing zone or to get through release. Because these hands have gotten fully extended, we know this is going to start opening up and dragging early, and we know that this being fully extended is going to start to go out, and that's going to start to open up this front shoulder. So watch what happens when this foot hits the ground. Foot hits the ground. Now, look how your shoulder's already open. Front shoulder's already open, and that's because it's peeling out and opening, it's pulling this shoulder, back shoulder through. So now we got to think, at this point in time, whatever drive linearly, meaning going to the target, and rotational energy from our lower body and hips, whatever linear and rotational that we've created from the waist down at this point in which your front foot gets into foot strike. Front foot strike is what that position here is called. Once your body gets into front foot strike, whatever linear and rotational forces your lower body has gone through provides those same forces that the upper body is going to go through. A little bit of trunk linear direction and shoulder rotational direction. Whatever the lower body does in those movements for power can be sent up to the upper half. Here we can see, yeah, we have decent linear drive getting away from the rubber, but we have done zero rotation. The front side is opened up, but the hips are still here. The back knee, top of the kneecap is still right here. Your foot is still in the ground here, and it hasn't begun to drive, or rather rotate through there. And because that lower body, time after time after time after time, is not doing what it needs to do by the time you get into front foot strike, meaning rotate, the upper body then does not have that extra rotational power from the lower half being sent up to the upper half to help it rotate more aggressively and faster. And because now your upper half has been throw after throw after throw, not getting the lower body to help it move, it now needs to try to find a way to gain that extra energy that it's missing out on from this lower half not being on time. So since the lower half is not on time, upper body's got to find a way to create just as much energy as it would if the body was working together. And because of that, we're going to try to spin our body faster than we can actually throw. And if we're going to try to spin it faster, we're going to get this front shoulder peeling out, getting out that way. And when that gets out that way, that pulls this shoulder forward. And if this shoulder gets pulled forward, now we have less rotation to throw the ball with. And now we're going to see how that arm just drags now behind to try to, at the last second, get the ball out right over our toe here. This is all the power you're getting is a push. And it's all because of that lower body not rotating when it gets here. Also, the path, sorry, that's my air fryer. The path that your arm takes to get it loaded is long and big, so now we're going to have a long and slow draggy arm coming through. So let's pull up some guys to look at here to be able to see exactly what the lower half needs to be looking like at foot strike. But Granky over here, slide you back to here. Let's just watch the delivery as a whole to start. All right, let's take it back. Let's just watch the arm now, the throwing arm, the ball. Falls out of the glove. Your ball falls out of the glove. Okay. Granky starts to load up that scap. Load up that scap. Load up that scap. You swing the arm back. Look how your ball now is behind the rubber. It has gone backwards, the baseball. Granky's ball comes out, and obviously our angle is a little different. We would have to rotate ourselves this way and start looking back this way a little bit because we can see the angle of this rubber is this way, and we're looking at the angle of your rubber this way. So right now, his hand, if we had the right perspective, the ball would be about right here. Okay? And then we can see with Granky from there, it gets scap load. Scap load. And let me pull this back a little bit so we can see what the front side's doing with it. Scap load. Watch the elbows go together. Elbows go together. Getting that elbow loaded up. So now, watch what happens with the lower body here. Boom. 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 So when Granky gets into foot strike, notice that this shoulder is still in line with the target. It's not out and open like yours gets when you get into foot strike. So your foot hits the ground, toes finally in all the way right there. Okay? And look how wide open your shoulders are at this point. Then we'll get Granky when his foot gets all the way into the ground right there. Look at the difference in those upper bodies. Okay. Look where this belt buckle's facing. Look where the top of this kneecap's at. It's in the ground. Okay. He's getting away, and look at this. The top of his shoe is closer towards the ground. The top of your shoe is closer towards third base. So everything here is turned over more. So now, if we just watch the power and the movements that you're able to do after front foot strike is only that to throw. That to throw. That's your upper body power. Versus that to throw. That to throw. Okay. So we have to find a way to start rotating. Watch these lower bodies, legs. Rotate. 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 Foot strike. We look at yours and we can see, watch this front foot. All it does is just open. If your foot's open, your knee's open. If your knee's open, your hip wants to get open. And now your foot's even more open. And now you're just straight. So if this foot is now almost straight, this has no rotation that it needs to do. If this isn't rotating, this probably isn't going to rotate. And because the front doesn't rotate, the back doesn't really rotate. Okay? Front's got to rotate and the back's got to rotate. So watch both knees working together. Wham. 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 How is he able to do that with the front side? Watch his foot. His foot stays closed, closed, closed. Now it's neutral. Now it's opening. And now it's in the ground. So it's rotating here. Here. That front side. Here. 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 And now as that front side is opening, watch the back side. Front side opens. Front side opens. Front side opens. And what's the back side doing when the front side opens? Back side's driving in. Driving in. Driving in. Again, we look at yours now. Front leg's already open. Back leg does nothing. Front leg's already open. Back leg does nothing. So again, that's why it goes back to we want to lift this leg on an angle. You're lifting this leg more straight up. If it's straight up, it's going to be very easy for that foot to get out in front. If you lift it on an angle, you can stay in that angle. Lift on an angle, stay in that angle. Lift on an angle, stay in that angle. You lift straight up, it goes straight out. You lift straight up, it goes straight out. Lift straight up, go straight out. Lift it on an angle, keep the angle. Angle, 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 rotate. Rotate, rotate. Ball is going to fall out of the glove, and then the elbow scap loads. Ball falls out of the glove, elbows scap load, and then shoulders rotate for the hand and arm to move. Shoulders bring that hand up. Hand does not go up until shoulders rotate it up. Shoulders rotate it up. And then shoulders continue to rotate to bring it through. Look how he keeps rotating. Where's those eyes and head at the entire time he's rotating, though? He's not taking the head through rotation. The head's just staying on that target. All right. Ball's down. Elbow scap loads it. Shoulders bring it up. Shoulders get it out. Shoulders continue to accelerate it. All right, so let's watch that pitch again. Ball is going to do what first? It's going to fall out of the glove. And then the elbow gets it scap loaded. Elbow gets it scap loaded. And the only reason the hand gets above the elbow is because the shoulders rotate it there. Shoulders rotate it there. Shoulders rotate it up. And then the shoulders continue to rotate all the way through. Okay? When that can be done, watch the movement on this fastball here. Whap. Coming out of the hand, this is going off the dish and then whap right back down the middle. That's why that guy has those hands reaching out. He's saying that ball is away. I'm not going to be able to get it. Oh my goodness, it's right down the middle. Easy strike. Ball falls out. Scap loaded with the elbow. Shoulders rotated. Hunter Green. It's been in the futures game the last 2 years. He's knocking on the big league doors. He's got an effortless 98 to 102. Just watch how simple this arm is.
Is Hunter Green on the mound, Jim Callis?
Well, you sold him short because his first pitch was 101, Greg. So you undersold him a little bit. I don't know. Harold, you can.
Look at this. 102. Watch how simple this is. Leg comes up. Ball falls out of the glove. Elbow scap loads it. And then shoulders rotate it. And they keep on rotating through release. And that's how you throw 102 miles an hour. It's simple, it's explosive, and it's repeatable. Now, watch everyone
Harold, you've seen all kinds of guys. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy throw 100 miles an hour do it so easy. His arm is so fast, the delivery is so athletic.
101
It's like the easiest 100 miles an hour I've ever seen. And there was 102.
102.
It is so legit. I mean, this is a legit 100. A lot of times we see the gun and you say, oh, it's pumped up. That is a rocket.
Okay? Everything is simple. Ball falls out. Elbow scap loads. Watch this lower body. Wham! 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 That foot gets in a foot strike. Look how much of those hips are already coming through. Then the shoulders. Then the hand. Bayou, 102. Smell you later. All right, so we got to work on lower body, and we got to keep getting this arm path getting cleaner and cleaner.